I want to take a moment to go over this week's assignment. Last week, all of you should have taken the business idea generation course to generate some different ideas about a business that you would like to focus on for your project during this semester. So I want to just take it a little, one step further. Hopefully you have several different ideas on different businesses that you might be interested in creating or at least focusing on for the purpose of this class. This assignment is going to kind of help you evaluate those ideas to see which one might best fit you. Now, it's really important that whenever you're starting a business that you're really choosing a business that's going to make you happy, because having your own business, it's very stressful. It's stressful and it can impact a lot of areas of your life, probably areas that even a normal job might not impact. So that's why I created this exercise for you. So the first thing that you'll do, I'm going to walk you through this because I did it first, just so I can give you an example. I have a lot of experience in the past operating a restaurant. So those are the ideas that all of these, that's kind of the theme that all these business ideas are referring to. So I have, for example, I could start a restaurant. I could start an event catering service. I could start a small business doing private meal preparation, or I could also start a business that provides cultural cooking classes and focusing on teaching people how to make recipes that are relevant to my Cherokee culture. So below where I put my business ideas, you'll see that there's an empty space here where you can jot your own business ideas down there. If you ended up having more than 4 business ideas, great, that's fine. You can just use the extra space down here, but I'm pretty sure most of you probably don't have more than 4 ideas. Next, you're going to list all the factors that you need to consider when deciding on the type of business it is that you want to start. Here, for example, is some of the things. So what I really want you to do here is really think about your business ideas and how they are going to fit with your personal values and your lifestyle. So for instance, here is mine, family time. It's probably one of the most important things to me. So I want to make sure that, number one, I'm available on weekends because I have aging parents and I need to be able to go back home on the weekends to kind of make sure that the house and the property and they are being taken care of. So having a business that's going to require me to work on weekends is not going to be a good fit for me. The other thing is the potential profitability, because my time is really valuable to me. I have a lot going on in my life. So I want to make sure that any kind of business that I start, it's really going to make it worthwhile to me financially. So in order for me to choose a business idea that's good for me, I need to be able to make at least $30,000 a year. If I were looking at a business idea and I'm like, okay, well, I can only make about $5,000 extra a year, that's not going to be a good fit for me. So this is a potential profitability is just one of those things that are important to me. Now, I will tell you that I do have a side hustle, and I do not make $30,000 a year in my side hustle, but it's also not my full-time job. So I'm not spending all of my time on that business. But one thing that I do look at is potential profitability, because since my time is limited, I want to make sure that in my side hustle, I'm really making it worthwhile financially for me to spend time doing that business. And so what I do in that business is I sell jewelry products that are related to my culture, and I only sell products that I can end up making at least $30 an hour on. So I consider my time, like how long does it take me to make a certain necklace or pair of earrings? How much can I sell it for? And there are some things I really love to create, like I like to weave baskets, but I am not fast at weaving baskets. So, in order, like it might take me 10 hours to weave a double wall basket. And if I can only sell that basket for $50, then obviously it's just not worth my time selling that product. So I want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm creating and selling, that I'm going to, at the end of the day, after I take account for all the materials that it costs me to produce that item and my time and packaging and shipping, that I'm going to have a profit left over that's going to equal to about $30 an hour. Personal fulfillment is also important to me. So whatever business idea that I choose, I want it to be fun. And I want it to be something that I don't really mind spending my time doing. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to start a side hustle selling jewelry, because I like making jewelry. It's relaxing. It's something I can do anywhere. So I can just pack all my materials up with me. And if I want to go to the lake and go camping, I can do that and still make my products. If I want to go to my parents' house on the weekend and spend time with them, I can do that at their house as well. So just making sure that personal fulfillment. I will say one thing, point out here, that I also enjoy being around other people and want a business that gives me the opportunity to get out of the house and connect. Obviously, since I sell on Etsy, I'm not really having that face-to-face interaction with people, but I do have the opportunity to set up at in-person events like our Cherokee National Holiday. If I want to set up a booth and sell my items, I can do that and have, the opportunity to network and connect with people. Operational flexibility is something else that's important to me, because I don't like having a set schedule, and I want to be able to arrange my work according to whatever I have going on that day. So that way, if I have doctor's appointments during the day, this is something that I could work on during the evening. So again, you have to sit down and think about what is it that's important in your life, and how is this small business going to affect that? Here in this next section is a blank area where you can start listing your own factors, those things that are important to you. So for instance, the cost to start the business is probably going to be an important factor to most anyone. So, like if I want to start a restaurant business, I'm obviously going to have quite a bit of money to do that. And if you're one of those people that, well, this is the business you want to do, but it's going to cost you $50,000 to start, and there's no way you can get 50,000, then that's obviously going to be important in making your final decision. Again, use this area here to write down what is important to you in your life and think about how that business is going to impact that. So next, what you will do is you will rank each of your factors in order of importance. So here's mine again, ranking them from most important to least important. Family time, number one priority for me. Business profitability, followed by personal fulfillment and operational flexibility, and finally startup cost. Again, like startup cost may be the most important factor to you. And maybe you're young and family time really isn't that important. Maybe you don't have kids, or you don't live in the area where your parents live, and so you're not really spending that much time with them anyway. So really, this is just, again, very personal to you. Take your factors, list them from most important to least important, and you will do that here in this space. So now we're going to rate each of these factors, and we're going to assign them a number on a kind of a scale of 1 to 5, which 1 being having the most negative impact and 5 having the most desirable impact. So you can see here for mine, remember, my most important factor that I have to consider when choosing a business idea is family time. If I were to start a restaurant, I would not get to spend a whole lot of time with my family. And I just know that because I've been in the restaurant business before. And it required me to be there every day. I was there on a lot of weekends. Holidays were always a big day for my restaurant. So I always had to be there on holidays. So I'm going to assign this restaurant idea a factor of one because it's definitely not jiving with me being able to spend time with my family. My second idea was an event catering service, and I ranked that a 3 because, again, when it comes to family time, I probably would be catering events on weekends, on evenings, and at times where I would rather be with my family. There is some flexibility, so I don't have to take a catering event if there's something else going on that I would rather be at. But that's why I ranked that a 3. So my third idea was private meal preparation. And I ranked this as 5 because in my mind, if I'm doing private meal preparation, I can do that any time of the day. So if I have a doctor's appointment, I can go to it and either do the private meal prep before or after. If I don't want to do it on weekends, I wouldn't have to. I could just do it during the week. So really, this is providing a lot of flexibility when it comes to spending time with my family. And my third idea was cultural cooking classes. Again, I ranked that about the same that I did the event catering service, because if I were to provide cooking classes, again, that's most likely going to take place in the evening. It's going to take place on the weekend, and it would interfere with my family time, even though, again, there would be some flexibility, which is good, but not quite enough. So the second most important factor for me was business profitability. And when I examine the idea of the restaurant, I really do think that is where I would make the most money, which is why I assigned it a 5, because it would have, the most positive impact when considering business profitability. And you can see here how I rated the others. So like for private meal preparation, although it scored the highest as far as family time, it's kind of scoring, middle of the ground when it comes to business profitability. And of course, these are guesses because I may make a lot of money doing private meal preparation. I don't know because I haven't done that yet. And that's the thing to remember when you're evaluating business ideas, that sometimes you may not always have all the experience or information, from the past to factor into this. And so some of this is just guesswork, but at least it's giving you the opportunity to think through things and make a calculated guess. So factor 3 for me was personal fulfillment. I loved being around people. I loved working at the restaurant. So that's why I gave it a 4. I mean, it had its ups and downs, but definitely for that aspect of, being able to be around people and socialize, it was really good. Event catering service and the private meal preparation scored a little lower because there's not going to be as much opportunity for me to really sit and visit with people and, have fun. Yes, I'll be talking to them like if I had an event catering service, but I'm going to be busy working the entire time. So it's not really going to give me the opportunity to visit with people like I like to do. But on the cultural cooking classes, that ranked the highest because I have actually been in classes like this, and it was awesome. Everybody's there, everybody's having fun. You don't have all the stress of, making sure a meal gets done and that everything is perfect like you do in a restaurant. So definitely the idea of cultural cooking classes ranks high for me. Operational flexibility, again, the restaurant ranks really low because when you have a physical business like that, you have to be open certain days, certain hours. You can't just pick and choose. Like when you have something like a restaurant or a physical retail location, you have to be open at certain times and days, and you can't fluctuate that. So it becomes very impossible to have a lot of flexibility in when you can operate your business. The one that ranked highest for me was the private meal preparation. Again, because I don't have to be anywhere physically at any certain time like I would at a restaurant or doing event catering or doing cultural classes. That's something that I can totally work around my schedule if I needed to. So what I did was then I take all of these and I add them up and I see which one scored the highest. So you can see that the restaurant had a score of 11, and that's the lowest out of all of these ideas. So I could probably pretty much knock restaurant off my ideas to move forward with. The one that scored the highest for me was private meal preparation. When you look at all this, at least based on my values and what I would want from a small business, doing private meal preparation is probably going to be the best thing for me. It would be a close call between that or the cultural cooking classes. So if you move on down, here's your space. Again, rank your factors of what's most important to you when considering your business idea, and rank each of those, about how they are going to affect you, either from one being most negative and 5 being the best option. So I hope that helps. That's just a very simple exercise. There's so many different ways that you can evaluate a business idea, but again, I like to use this one because for most of us, whether we're doing it as a full-time business or whether you're doing it as a side hustle, it's really important to make sure that the business idea you choose is really going to make you happy and that it's going to allow you to live the kind of life you want. So I hope you found this overview helpful. It's a pretty easy exercise. If anyone has any problems with it, you're most welcome to give me a call. Preferably send me a text message and let me know you need to talk, and I will set aside time to get on Zoom with you or whatever we need to help you through this. So thank you guys. Hope you have a good week.